You're listening to the Departure Lounge podcast with your hosts Tom Whittle and Ger Dooley, your ticket to the home of aviation podcasts.
It's Sunday night, and you know what that means. A very warm welcome, everybody, to episode 12 of the Departure Lounge podcast, and the first after the rebrand. I hope everyone's doing well. My name, as always, is Tom Whittle, and joining me this evening, as always, is my co-host Ger Dooley. Ger, very good evening to episode 12.
Very good evening to you as well, Mr. Tom, and episode number 12. Wow, we're climbing the ladder ever so good, Tom, and upwards and onwards.
We certainly are, and also joining us or rejoining us this week. I haven't come up with a funny sort of intro for yourself, but he's back. Ian Hartley's with us. Ian, good evening.
Good evening, Tom, and good evening, Ger, as well. I hope you're both well and had a nice weekend.
And you too, Ian?
Yeah, really good, thank you.
I am.
Yeah, thank you, yeah.
I am severely sunburnt, but it's worth it after today's venture. So yes, other than that, I'm not too bad, and I'm very much looking forward to getting some sleep, provided my sunburn allows it.
Skinny dipping in Garbage Bay.
I don't think anyone wants to see that. But yes. Anyway, it has been a very busy week and a very busy weekend. I have literally just got home about an hour ago from catching Air Force One over at Newquay, as well as various different aircraft. And just while I say that, something is going over my house very loudly. It's all right. It's all right. It's a C-17 that took off from Newquay. It's the one I saw going in. Anyway.
Wow.
So we're not going to do any news or anything this week because I just haven't had time to prepare any. But let's talk about the fact that obviously throughout sort of this weekend we have had, of course, the G7 summit down here in Cornwall. Opportunity for a lot of us down here to view aircraft that we normally wouldn't. Such as obviously Air Force One, which was the main talking point of this weekend, and of course all the other entries, including of course France, Germany, Italy, South Africa, Australia were there. Going through a list and whatever. So it's all good. So it's been a lot of fun. It's caused a lot of chaos down here in terms of traffic and everything else. But today was the final day, and everyone has now gone home, or in Joe Biden's case, gone off to Heathrow and then Brussels. So it's almost like going back to a little bit of normality now. But seeing Air Force One today was probably the highlight of probably the year, I would say. And you can expect a video to go up on my channel this evening, straight after the podcast, if you want to see Air Force One take off. Another bit of news, of course, this sort of concerns obviously you, Ger, that we also heard this weekend, was the demise of Stobart Air, which sort of were contracted to do Aer Lingus regional flights. They sadly no longer exist and cease trading. Just talk us through a little bit about how you feel about that.
Tom, I tell you now, I'm absolutely gutted, to be honest with you, because the thing is, my planned visit back to the airport now is coming up in Dublin pretty soon. I'm just waiting now on getting my hands on a new piece of equipment, like camera equipment, that I can get back out there. My last camera has sadly died, I think, because I might be able to get it running again, I don't know, but the hard drive might be alright, and the SD card in I think is fine, so I'll be able to transition the SD card into the newer one, but so far it's going to be a heartbreak not seeing the turboprops of the ATRs or whatever they like to they call them, as I said, the 76s and
Yes, definitely.
the
Yeah, definitely.
72s. Yeah,
It'd be a shame.
yeah.
Obviously, the Newquay where I went today, they had operations to Dublin. I think Cork was on there as well, which are obviously no longer running. Places routes from Belfast to Manchester, obviously no longer running. Bristol as well, no longer running because of this. So it's a little bit of a gap for those that sort of want to find a cheap little route or a different alternative to, say, using the likes of Ryanair and that. But just a bit of a shame, really.
And the thing is, Tom, for you, like you always look forward to being down at Bristol, and you'd always look forward to getting the ATR taxi now, because you do have a video on your channel, and Geraldine is yours is there, like, you know. So it's a bit of a sadness for you as well, like as it is for me, because I used to get about 5 or 6 leaving Dublin, like you'd have one going to Kerry, you'd have one to Donegal, I think, as well, Dublin, Manchester, of course, Bristol, I used to see it going out as well. So it is a sad end, but I just hope now it's not going to be the end of the 8 years. Will someone else hopefully take them over, or they just least? That's the only thing I'm just wondering.
Yes, let's hope so. Anyway, what we'll do, we'll pass it over to Ian to give some hellos to anybody that may have commented. Of course, if you have any questions this evening for our guest or for any of us in particular, get them into the chat, and we will get them read out. Or any questions, we'll get them answered as soon as we can. But Ian, a couple of hellos.
We've got Samuel Taylor Ackroyd saying good evening to everybody. So good evening to you, Sam. You were commenting that you'd seen Air Force One as well, which is awesome. And he said even though there's no news, he started talking about Air Storebox ceasing operations.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So literally just as we were sort of mentioning it. It is sad, but. Without reading too much into what happened and stuff. I mean, admittedly, I haven't. I've just heard about it. So, I shall have a read on that. But yes. Anyway, shall we? What we'll do, because we've mentioned a little bit of news and stuff. Shall we get into introducing our guest?
Yes, I think so, Tom.
Cool. Here we go.
This week's special guest.
I guess I'm the guest this week. My name is William. I'm a plane spotter at Pearson.
You are the guest, and
yes.
We haven't probably introduced you yet.
Oops.
It's all right.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. It's all right. We're all good. That's
okay.
Part of being all right.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good. But so guest for this evening is based at. Correctly, it's Toronto, isn't it?
Yep, Toronto.
Yes, so based at Toronto Pearson Airport over in Canada, has a few stories to tell us about spotting in Canada and aviation in general over the pond in Canada, and of course he'll be here to answer your questions. It is William, also known as Throttle Aviation. So William, a very good evening.
Good evening to you guys too.
How are we doing?
We're doing well. Pardon?
And a very, very good day, a very, very good day to you as well, William.
Yeah, good day to you too. Good day.
Thank you very much.
Now, like I said, if you have any questions at all for William, like I said, or for any of us, get them in the chat. We'll get them read out as soon as possible. But let's dive into it. William, like I say, for those that might not sort of know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a plane spotter out of Toronto Pearson International Airport in Canada. I've been plane spotting for just over a year now. I started last May in the midst of the pandemic. I take photos and post them to my Instagram at Throttle Aviation. I collect models. I sometimes post YouTube videos, and I just really enjoy taking photos and planes and spotting at any airport I can, any chance. So
fantastic. Joe, do you want to start proceedings with some questions?
Yes, I certainly will, Tom. Now, William, it's an honour and a pleasure to get to talk to you this evening. And so I'd like to start. What got you into the love of aviation, and what's your ambition to go further in the aviation calendar?
What really got me into aviation was air shows. It was just going to them as a younger guy, seeing the CF-18 just tearing up the skies with the crazy afterburner, those high-speed passes just drew me in. The loud noise, the feeling in the chest just drew me in. So it was just a kind of sign off from day one. And then the minute the pandemic hit and I had some free time on my hands, it was just out to Pearson to get the thrill of just a 777 overhead, and it's just addicting and can't stop going back ever since then. So it's just been that for the last year.
Awesome. Yeah, and you're like myself and Tom, and I presume Ian as well. We all love the sound of the GE90s of the 777-300. It's such an awesome airplane and an awesome sound out as well. And Toronto Pearson Airport now. It's a single runway operation, or is it a two runway operation at Toronto?
It's a multi-runway operation airport. So we have 3 runways on the one direction. I think it'd be west to east. We have runway 24 left and right, and then runway 23. And if you've likely seen videos, you've probably seen runway 23 arrivals, which is just the famous, like, the airplanes are extremely low overhead. So we have those. We have, I think, 6 in total runways. Or 5 in total, actually. We have runway 33 left and right, 24 left and right, and then 23. So it's a big airport, the biggest in Canada, so I'm lucky to be able to spot there, and I'm grateful to be able to go. So
awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I actually I've watched several videos actually on YouTube from that airport, and I just said that some of the aircraft will be very, very low, only large to the nearest runway, I think it is, anyway. They come really down low over the free. I call them freeways, or we call them motorways, but I tend to like to use the big word, I suppose, when it comes to a freeway or something like that. And it is awesome, like, when you look at it. Hey Tom, I'll let you have the next one.
No problem. So you sort of touched on sort of how you got into sort of the aviation side of things. You also obviously do the photography aspect, and of course you have a YouTube channel, which a link will go into the comments shortly. How did that all come about, especially the YouTube channel? What made you sort of decide that you wanted to kind of broadcast your videos and stuff onto YouTube?
So last May, the Antonov 225 went to Pearson, delivering PPE. And I was talking to my one friend, and we had made a bet saying, like, we bet over how many views I could get, since it just came about. That was my first time ever using a camera, and I was filming. So I kind of came about and posted that to YouTube just to see where it'd go. And it just went far. I had also, for YouTube, got some inspiration from some other Pearson spotters that I'd been watching for months past, and I was just inspired by them to take part in what they do and see where my videos could go on YouTube. So that's about it.
Wonderful. And of course, you've got sort of near enough to 4,500 subscribers. Did you ever think you'd get to that number?
No, I didn't. I never thought I was going to get there. I was hoping for 300-400 subscribers, since I don't have a proper camera, since I just use my phone, since the camera I use doesn't shoot video. So I think it's really all luck to have 4,500 subscribers. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think there's many other spotters at Pearson who deserve those 4,000 subscribers over me, but I'm extremely grateful for everybody who subscribed and watched my videos.
Fantastic. And of course, like we said, a link to William's channel will go into the comments shortly. Give him a subscribe, it's well worth it, and obviously help his channel out in the meantime as well. But what we'll do, I can see some questions in the comments, so what we'll do is we'll hand it over to Ian, and we'll get some of the viewers' questions in.
So Steve Plains, he says evening all to everybody. Just a quick mention there for Steve Plains, so good evening to you.
Evening, Steve.
And Samuel Taylor Ackroyd is asking, he's asking a few questions, so we'll just go through them one by one.
Yeah.
What's your favourite aircraft type?
My favorite plane would have to be the 747-400.
Ah, yes, thumbs up! Yay!
Gets the thumbs up from Joe.
Oh,
Yeah.
what? Hey, Tom, 100% on that one. The Queen of Skies rules.
Of course.
Certainly
Yeah.
does.
What's your favourite airline? Apart from Air Canada, say, because you're going to see loads of Air Canada.
Yeah, well, I think my favorite would probably have to be British Airways. I just love the livery on British Airways.
Nice.
Same with Lufthansa. Those two are kind of my favorites. So it'd be Air Canada, but we're going to exclude them for this one. But British Airways and Lufthansa would definitely be up there as my favorite.
Yeah, right.
Fantastic.
That's quite interesting.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So what's your most memorable moment in plane spotting or anything else what's related to aviation? So what would be your most memorable moment in your spotting career, I suppose?
My most memorable moment plane spotting would definitely have to be when the Antonov AN225 flew nearly direct overhead last May. That's my all-time highlight as a plane spotter. It's something that I'll never forget. That whole weekend, it was filled with just giant anticipation and commotion. Just it was amazing. I was so grateful to see it and photograph it. Just by far my best catch, and I think many others.
You are going to struggle to beat that.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think you do.
He also asks.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry, Tom.
No, I was just going to say, I
you
think
all right?
it would be difficult to be. I think anybody that mentions that, try and find something a bit better than that.
You're going to struggle, aren't you?
Going to struggle big time. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, wow.
But his final question for the time being, Sam's asking, what airports would you like to spot in around the world?
I definitely like to check out LAX and go to Imperial Hill and the In-N-Out. Some of those shots that I've seen on Instagram are just absolutely phenomenal, and it just looks awesome. And same with JFK. I'd love to check out the TWA Hotel and spot there sometime. Just anything like the night shots that you can get with the low exposure, just all of that stuff looks great. So those two would definitely be on my bucket list to spot at.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We've had a few shouts actually for LAX, and I don't think we had any mentions for the TWA Hotel either. That would be a really nice one to visit. Really nice to visit.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree on that one as well, Tom. And there's another spot actually at JFK that would be a good one. It's over across the far side of the river, and you're looking at the side angle as they're coming along and to take off. Then some of them do that massive sharp turn when they're coming out, you can actually hear, especially the 757s belong to the Delta when they're coming out. You can literally hear them full throttle as they're coming out over your head on a sharp
Yes.
turn, and you might, I watch quite a lot of JFK videos. I must subscribe to your channel as well. So you'll have another extra person subscribe to you. So your subscriptions will keep going up more and more every time. And I'm going to give a shout out to anyone watching. Make sure you do subscribe to William as well, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Very well. No problem at all.
Cool. So I'm going to steal one of the questions actually that's in the chat, and it's actually from Steve Plains. Now, obviously, we mentioned or just mentioned, the favourite airline and trying for it not to be Air Canada, but he mentions about the Air Canada livery. Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the current one, or do you prefer sort of the mint blue livery that they had previously?
I've got to go with this one. I've seen the mint blue one way too much, and it's sad that Air Canada has, I found, spotting. There's more that mint blue, kind of ice blue livery than the new one, and I'll take the new one 9 times out of 10 today. It's just amazing on the A330 and MAX 8. Just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I think for me, I prefer the current one now, which is the what they call the Raccoon livery. But that's purely because I'm old enough to remember the 1998 livery, which was a blacktail with the maple leaf on it with big red Air Canada titles, and I love that one more than anything. And then when they introduced the mint blue one, I was like, well, it's an interesting direction, but it's not really what Air Canada's about. And then as soon as this one came back, I was like, yeah, this is probably the best move that they could have made, and it's just lovely. It's really, really nice, and it's that nice little throwback. So
yeah,
it's a nice little throwback to old days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Tom. And the thing is, speaking about the new Air Canada livery, I have to say I've actually got to fall in love with the Air Canada, the new Air Canada livery, the Raccoon, as they call it. But I had the privilege of getting both the 787 in Dublin, and I also got the A330 in Dublin with that new livery. So I got the best of both worlds with the A330 and the Dreamliner with that lovely livery on it. So a big shout out to Air Canada on upgrading their fleet with this new livery. And William, just let you know, I am flying the Canada flag very proudly. I have it hanging up on my ceiling here in Ireland at the moment, looking down on top of me with the red maple leaf on it.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I think it's a shame really that the 767s didn't stay around long enough to wear it again, because I thought that the older blacktail red maple leaf livery looked fantastic on the 767s. It's just a shame that they never really got to wear the Raccoon one. I've seen concepts, but never seen, they would never have seen the livery, which is a bit of a shame. But obviously, given everything that's happening,
sad, Tom.
It's a shame, but the concepts are out there for a reason, so at least we get to kind of see that, see that side of things. So yes, it's a very good question actually in terms of which one is preferred. I quite like the whole comparing livery questions.
Yeah,
fantastic. Fantastic.
Well, if I can quickly add on, with the 767, they're actually going to paint the cargo. We have some cargo 767s coming from Tel Aviv, in fall of 2021, and they'll be painted in the new livery with winglets.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that'll be
It'll
cool.
be
Oh,
Air Canada
excellent.
cargo, so that'll be our chance to see it.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's good news.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fantastic.
That'll be nice.
That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be really
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be deadly.
Definitely. Right.
Yeah.
So let's move on from that.
Yeah.
And let's go to obviously your spotting experiences. Obviously, apart from the as you know the Antonov 225, what have been some of your favourite catches from the times that you've been doing it? Obviously, like I said, excluding the Antonov 225.
So, being a plane spotter in the COVID era has not been great for rares. So one of my top catches would have been back in February when I saw the Coletta 747. Wasn't in the full livery, which was disappointing, but it was still great to see in some amazing winter lights. So that's probably one of my top catches, along with the Antonov AN124, which I saw back in May as well.
Wow. Yeah, it's quite a rare thing to see sort of the larger, like American airline liveries, we'll get there eventually, cargo airlines and stuff, doing sort of like shore hops and that to Canada and stuff. But yeah, if you still get an opportunity to see a 747, absolutely take it. Yeah, absolutely take it. So yeah, definitely a rare thing to see sort of nowadays.
Well, they are getting nearer all the time, Tom.
They certainly are. They are indeed, and it is a shame, really. Once again, but as we mentioned, like ages ago, at least we've got the cargo variants really to keep us going, and they'll be around for a little bit longer, thankfully. So.
Thankfully, now you said it, yeah.
Yes. Joe, over to you then for some questions.
Now, William, I have some interesting questions. You were telling me there at the start you have a big love for air shows. So tell me, what's the biggest air show you've been at, and what would be your favourite aerobatic team?
So my favorite aerobatic team would be the Snowbirds in Canada. They fly CC-114 Tutors, if I'm correct. They're just little training jets. They've had a rough history with staying in the air, so that's never great, but they're awesome to see. The largest air show I've been to is about 2 hours away from Pearson, down in London, Ontario. It's Air Show London. It's a great air show. I went to it. I've been to it now 2 years in a row. I went in 2020 with a drive-in style. So it was an absolutely amazing show. There was the A-10 demo team, F-16 demo team, F-22, 35, and the Thunderbirds. So you had the whole American package there. So it was just an amazing show to be at.
Oh, awesome! Wow. And tell me now, you obviously are a big fighter jet fan, I take it as well. You like your different variations of fighter jets. What exactly would be your favourite military type aircraft?
So we in Canada only have the F-18 as like a true fighter jet. And I've just been in love with it since day one. I love the CF-18, the Legacy Hornets. They're just absolutely phenomenal and amazing jets, even though they might now not be the strongest. That and the F-22, the noise and the afterburner they give off is just breathtaking, and it gives you just such a big adrenaline rush.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, no, because speaking of the F-18, Hornet fighter jet. I had the privilege of coming face to face with one myself in my local airport here in Dublin, Ireland, and the noise out of it now was fairly earth-shattering, believe it or not. And the afterburners came on as she started up. She was only a couple of meters away from me, where I was standing on the mount, looking over at the pilot as we get ready to throttle the engines up, and then he raced off down the runway. The noise was like thunder and as she took off, then it went up vertical up into the air, and she disappeared outside. Like she was going to an air show just a couple of miles away from.
Yeah, they're insane. Any fighter jet.
So it was nice to see. ODR, they're awesome. I know, fair enough. I went a bit over the top myself with it when it was going up, but it was a lovely pleasure to actually get to see an F-18 in real life and feel that awesome power over. Like, you know, I thought Concorde was loud as well when I went. Their France Concorde a couple of years ago as well. So I've had the best of both worlds when it comes to the likes of them, and they are great stunt carriers as well. They go up into the air and they do their wall maneuvers in the air as well, which is another good thing as well. Would you be able to be in the prop type aircraft though yourself?
I'm not a giant prop fan. I'm just. We really don't have a large prop variety in Canada. It's more we just have the de Havilland Qs, the 300 and 400. So those are pretty big for our regional jets here. So they're loud, they're noisy. It's always weird seeing them taxi because they're off in the distance and you can't hear anything, and then just like a snap of a finger, all of a sudden they don't, like, it's just a blatant brr, and then you just hear that prop noise, and they're loud taxiing. They're just loud little birds. So.
Awesome. Yeah, the Dash A400s and Dash. I start at top now. We're big fans of them because we had a local airline as well in the UK, and they used to come into Ireland a lot as well. Flybe was the name, the actual airline, and it was absolutely awesome to see the lovely special liveries that they used to have on them as well. When they come in, they'd have a bit of purple at the back and that as well. So yeah, no, that's absolutely awesome. Okay, Tom, I'm handing the next one to you, my friend.
Yeah. No problem. So obviously we've mentioned the fact that you have like your favourite aircraft and stuff, but if there was an aircraft that you'd like to capture with your camera, what would it be?
Honestly, there's so many that I could list, but if I had to bring out one, it'd probably be an IL-96. They're crazy, so love to see one.
That would be fantastic. I've only ever seen one, and it was when I had a really poor camera at the time, and it was Aeroflot, and I think this was also on the back end of the Russians coming into the UK airspace and stuff before they decided that actually they were going to sort of revert to the sort of the Western aircraft, so like the A320s and things like that. Because otherwise the Tupolevs and the like I said, the Ilishins, Ilishin 96 were regular, they would make regular appearances, and then obviously the issue with the sound and noise and emissions and stuff came into play, and then obviously they slowly faded them out, and then just on a lucky day they decided to send one in, and it was fantastic. I just wish I had a better camera at the time.
Yeah, we had a couple go to Pearson 2 or 3 years back for they were a swap out for Cubana Airlines, if I'm correct, and those, I think some spotters back then just went crazy for them because they're just beautiful aircrafts.
Yes, they are. They definitely are, and may even do an episode on some of the Russian planes later on later on down the line, sort of thing. But we could definitely sort of sit and talk about Russian aircraft for what will feel like an eternity. So yeah, might want to explore sort of further down the line. But what we'll do for the time being, we will hand it over to Ian once again for the comments.
Just having a quick look now. Steve Plains, going back to which were your favourite livery? He says, I'm with you, especially with the black cockpit window, which me personally as well, I prefer that one as well. It's on the 737 Maxes, it just looks right. It's a fantastic livery. And Samuel Taylor Ackroyd is saying that he saw the AN225, which he did talk about. Was it episode 10 Sam was on? I think it was, weren't it?
Oh gosh, now we're going back.
Yeah, it was like a couple of episodes ago, weren't it? A couple of weeks ago, weren't it, Samuel?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Episode
talked
9.
about the AN225.
Episode 9. He was
Oh, was it episode 9? Sorry, yeah.
Nine,
Yeah.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
it
he
was.
saw that when he went up to Prestwick. So yeah, it's definitely a rare bird to catch. Is the 225? I think any Antonov plane is quite a rare thing to spot these days, isn't it? Even the smaller ones,
yeah.
your turboflops and what have you.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's yeah, if you can catch it, then all the power to you, sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Definitely agree with that one, Tom.
yeah.
Wow.
I've like I said, I've seen them in videos and everything else. I quite like to. Have I caught them? I don't think I have, but I'd like to be able to catch it in a video one day. But yeah, for me, like easily, I would take this livery over the mint green one, like all day long.
Yeah, I think, they're just amazing, that new livery.
Yeah, it just looks really nice and modern.
Definitely.
Sorry, Tom.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
I was just going to say to you there, Tom. So like you've been down at East Midlands Airport a couple of times before. It's kind of got bad, like the pandemic and everything like that. You never caught an AN124 at East Midlands Airport, did you not?
No, because I've never been to East Midlands Airport.
Oh, my apologies. I thought you were so when you do get to go down there, this is going to be your very first visit then.
It'll be my first visit. Yeah, it'll be my first visit there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I can't wait to actually do that, because I'll be looking forward to seeing what you will get now when you do get down there eventually. You were talking about July, though, I think, going down there, though, ain't you?
Yeah, next month actually. Yeah, next month I'll be down there.
Oh.
So.
Awesome. Can't wait now.
Yeah, should be good. Yeah. Any more comments in the chat?
Steve Plains. They had an Antonov the 26 in, I presume that's Bournemouth, isn't it? BMTH.
Yes.
About 8 weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I think
Nice.
they've been doing a lot of the first aid, the PPE deliveries, I would imagine, haven't they?
Yeah, down on 26, twin prop
That's right.
plane, but yeah, God, they're noisy. If you can ever get one of those, they are massively noisy.
Yeah, I think there were meant to be one coming up to Manchester. I remember a while ago. I don't know which car manufacturer it was, but I think they were shipping parts into Manchester on back of a 26. But I don't know what happened. I don't think it ever happened in the end. But,
Yeah, do you know what? I think I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, there was a bit of a buzz about it, weren't there?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're on about now, because they were on about.
I think it was Bentley. I'm not sure.
Could have been.
Gee,
Strange
Tom.
choice though.
Tom, would you
Yeah.
believe it? I was actually at Manchester Airport with a good friend of mine. I went over for a weekend, actually, I remember, come to think of it. And Corey Davis was his name, a good friend of mine from Manchester. And actually, I think it's Chester himself, I think. And he brought me down, and we happened to actually get an Antonov 26 actually coming in. Now sadly we didn't get her departing, but by God, she was very loud even on landing. And then when she was taxiing, of course, I couldn't hold back. I let out at her as she was taxiing, going into her stand or whatever, which was a lovely aircraft, like with the two props on her.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a little bit crazy.
Yeah. Oh no. The thing is, I went down and I was after witnessing a 757, I think it was, belonged to the Jet 2, I think it was. And next thing, there was a couple of other guys with us, and one of them said, "Jerry," he says, "you better turn around." He says, "There's an Antonov 26 on approach," he says. And I said, "Are you joking?" I said to him, and he said, "No," he said, "I'm not joking. It's after coming up on the radio, on the airband radio." So next day I heard the pilot talking, and sure, no, when I turned around, there she was on the ground, taxiing in, and the sound of those props was just awesome.
Yeah, it was. It's one of those ones I actually wouldn't mind actually having a view of myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those rare ones, especially like I suppose for you, William. I mean, I don't suppose you've ever had one up in Canada.
I don't think we've had a 24, but we've had, or 26, pardon me. We've had the Antonov AN-12 before, and it's the 4 propped version
Yes.
of it. And they've caused quite a few issues at Pearson with the extremely slow taxi they have.
Nothing to do with the smoke then. They are, yeah, they're smoky as anything, they are.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, just bear me 2 seconds because just been sent something. I'm going to bring it up on the screen. Just now. Just 2 seconds. So is it there? Yeah. So as you mentioned, Steve Plains was talking about the Antonov 26 going into Bournemouth. There it is on the screen now. He's just sent me that photo of the Antonov 26 that he's taken himself. So it's a fantastic catch, actually. Very good catch.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
lovely.
Very good catch.
Lovely. Yeah, that is nice. And a lovely, and also, Tom, a lovely livery on it as well.
Yeah, I can't think of what the airline is, but it's to get one of those sort of anywhere in the UK now is quite special. So it's fantastic. Yeah, very good picture. Thank you for sharing that with us, Steve. I might do a little segment actually in the future if anybody wants to share some of their photos with us. That's just giving me an idea. So that's.
Steve, if you can tell us exactly what livery that is, that would put it in the comments. That would be actually very appreciative. Now, it would be nice to actually know exactly what livery that airline is, because like you can see the blue actually on the just near the props, and then you have the blue and white stripes near the tail and that. Be interested to find out exactly what airline actually wants that aircraft, because it looks deadly. So it does.
Yeah, if you know the airline, let us know.
yeah, exactly.
But yes. Now talking of
Foreman Air Force.
Who?
I think it's is it the Oman Air Force?
Oman,
don't
is it?
think
Vulcan Air AN-26 Oman Air Force.
Oman Air Force.
so. I don't think it is. But,
I don't know. I just clicked on something. I'm sorry. I was just googling it, and
we'll go with it.
the Royal
We'll
Air
go
Force
with
of Oman, Eastern Airways.
We'll go with it.
No, it's all right. I was looking at the wrong thing. I do apologise.
Yeah.
Ignore me.
No.
You're okay.
You're. So, seeing as we were talking about Air Canada liveries, William, we wanted to sort of get your thoughts on the retro livery now that's sitting on the Airbus A220 that Air Canada have recently introduced. Just wanted to get your thoughts on it.
I love it. It's one of my it's by far my favorite A220 livery. The only other one. It's just phenomenal. Air Canada killed it with that one. I was really sad when they retired the A319 that it flew with. So that really hurt when they announced the retirement back in January. But I think us Pearson spotters and Canadian spotters all knew that they were going to reintroduce it onto an A220 because they just had to keep it going. It's an amazing piece of Air Canada's history and aviation. So.
Yeah, it is fantastic. Like I say, it adorned an A319, and obviously Air Canada replaced the A319 with this A220, and it is. For me, it's a lot smarter on the A220 than it is on the A319. Just purely because it just looks so nice, and very clean and very crisp. I think as well on the plane itself. So definitely kudos to them for sticking it on a modern plane and making it look good.
Yep, 100%. They killed it with this one.
Fantastic. Joe, to you now.
No, William, I tell you, this is an absolutely awesome show this week, and as we said at the start, it's a pleasure learning everything good from you and that, William. So, William, there's one question I do want to ask you, and you probably remember Air Canada. I know had a Airbus A318, I think it was. You could use to do a flight now from London Heathrow to St John's. I think that might be the only aircraft to have. Have you ever seen that? Have you been to St John's Airport or anything?
I've unfortunately never been to St. John's. I've never been out east in Canada, so it's an airport that I hope to check out, but one day I hopefully will.
Yeah, because I was just wondering, like, I've been thinking about this the last month or so. Has Air Canada still got a little small A380 that used to actually do the London Heathrow St. John's run? Or is it retired or something? Because I know they have retired a couple of familiar aircraft that I used to love seeing on my visits to London Heathrow. Like, and of course, like it's great news that we're saying that the 767s like are being transitioned. Well, we know about cargo jet now at the moment. They're a very regular visit with the London Heathrow at the moment. Do you see any of them cargo jet 767s at Toronto Pearson?
Cargojet doesn't operate out of Pearson. They operate out of Hamilton, which is about half an hour away from Pearson. Cargojet used to send some aircraft into Pearson, but right now us Canadian spotters are actually angry with Cargojet. There's been some controversy with Cargojet and fees, so they've threatened to move to America and I guess cease operations in Canada.
Oh, that's sad. That's sad to hear that. No. Yeah, I've seen a few videos of Cargojet, like at the of course the Maple Leaf was there, like so I'd be very shocked to do that. So, but anyway, getting back to your your spotting anyway at Toronto. Have you any particular favourite spots that you go around the airport to get the best views of the partner aircraft, or is arrivals your more favourite at the moment?
Yeah, for sure. My favorite spot would have to be, we call it the hill. It's this giant hill right on the foot of runway 06 left. So if you go far enough down it, you can get a head-on taxi shot, and then when they turn, you get just a perfect view of them. And it's actually right about where the Air France A340 overran the runway. So some people call it the Air France Hill, some people call it just the hill, but it's an absolutely amazing spot, and most spotters know about it. So any 06 left day, and it's sunny, no heat haze, you will have some amazing shots. So winter on a golden day, it's probably the best spot at Pearson to go to.
Awesome, no, that's absolutely awesome. Well, here's a good one now, and all three of you are going to have a good laugh at this one now about a hill that's named after me at my local airport in Dublin. It's called the Dooley Hill in Dublin. It's a friend of mine I normally go plane spotting with named it after me, and one of the security guys actually that works at the airport of Dublin always says to me every time, he says, I passed the Dooley Hill, he says, today on my way home for lunch, he says to me, and I do laugh every time I hear it. What do you think of that, Tom? A hill actually named after me. Tom, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, I'm here.
What do you think of that? A hill named after me, and Ian, you as well. What do you think?
If you can get a hill named after you, you can get anything named after you.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it's quite a privilege, isn't it?
It is. It is. It should be the Gerlingus Hill though, and even actually rhyme a bit better, so it would.
Yeah, like I said, if you can get it named after you, then it's a bit of a bonus. The reason I'm hesitating is I'm trying to get comfortable. My sunburn is not allowing me to.
Oh, is it alright? Sure. Yeah. Tom, you must
pain.
Tom, you must have got plastered. You must have got plastered today.
It's not great. So I'm trying to get comfortable. That's why I'm hesitating a little bit. But no, if you can get a hill named after you, then fantastic. Whereabouts is this hill?
It's actually just down the car park as you come down the road to your left hand side of the runway, and you keep walking down, and it's about 100 yards actually from the car park, and it's nice and high. You get an over fence view of the departing aircraft and the arrival aircraft on the two-way. And of course, as you know now, Tom, Dublin has a new runway put in now, so there'll be two operational long runways at Dublin now very soon. So there will.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If you can get something named after you, then absolutely go for it.
Yeah.
I just want to quickly throw in a big thank you to Samuel Taylor Ackroyd, who has to go, but thank you for watching. And he says that he's also subbed to Throttle Aviation, so that's another sub for you, William.
Thank you for that. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
And if you want to follow in his footsteps, give the channel a subscribe, and if you want a little bit of Canadian aviation action, he's your man to go to.
Tom, is the link actually up? Because I go to when we are on actually live, I'm going to actually hit the club button to William's channel as well. I'm just looking. It's not. in the comments section, is it?
It can be through the wonderful comment man on our side. Ian.
Ian, would you be able to throw the link in there or subscribe to William White right now live on the air?
Thank you.
Very welcome, William. You're absolutely welcome. I'll just wait for Ian now to put the link in there, and I'll click straight onto it when they see it. Right, Tom, do you want to go to the next question? Yeah?
As we're waiting, what we'll do, we'll just quickly nip to the comments. There's a couple there. Ian, if you want to quickly go through those.
Sorry, I was on a different page then, Tom. I was just doing something different.
No, you're all right. I'll let you
it's all right. I've gone back now. It's all right. Steve Plains he was saying about the AN-26. It was from the Ukraine carrier Vulcan Air, they do special cargo runs dotted around all over the place, don't they? So so it was a Vulcan Air Antonov. Jeremy Carlisle's joined us. Good evening to you, Jeremy, and he gives a wave as well.
Jeremy. Big shout out to Jeremy.
Good evening, Jeremy.
And I have actually put the. Sorry, I'm gonna say I put the link on for Instagram at Throttle Aviation, but it's not a clickable one, which is what I was just doing then before I got interrupted. So I'll hand back over to you, Tom, and I will carry on with this link.
Yeah, no, that's right. A couple more questions to get through. Like I said, if you've got any questions before we sort of begin to wrap the show up this evening, get them into the comments. What I will say, just very quickly, I have just tweeted out on my Twitter that the Air Force One takeoff video that happened today will be on my channel in the next 45 minutes. So 8:45 UK time, the video for Air Force One will be live on the channel for you to go and have a look. And it's a great video. Like, not to blow smoke up my own backside, but I feel like I've captured Air Force One quite well. So check it out, and hopefully you sort of feel the same way. But anyway, a couple more questions then before we wrap things up. Now we ask our most of our guests this question: are you much of a flight simmer?
I am not. I've never played any flight simulator game, actually. It doesn't really bring interest in me. So.
I love it.
I think you should end the interview right now.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next week. We're just winding up.
Tom, I love it.
No, well, I'm just winding you up. It's fine. I mean, I know people that. Plane spotters and stuff, and have never touched never touched it in their life. So that's fair enough. Would you ever sort of consider it?
I mean, looking down the future, definitely something I'd want to try, but it's just never really brought interest to me. I just would rather, I don't know, it's hard to put into words, but just flight simulators don't bring interest, but some of my friends just absolutely love them, and they can't get enough.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, sometimes it's not for everybody. It can be sort of quite sort of tricky to sort of master, and even if you're doing it for like a little bit of fun, sort of thing, you can still sort of enjoy the occasion. I think that we did speak about this a while ago, and we were saying that the best thing about sort of the older flight sims is that you can either do a serious sort of adaptation of it when you go onto it, or you can just play around for fun. And I think that's the best sort of thing that it has going for it, is that you can take the good aspect of it, and if you're using it for flight training, etc., then you can take it seriously. But if you're a novice and you haven't played it before, then it's very simple to be able to sort of start planes up and be able to take them off and things like that. So it's not like you've got to learn how to play the game before sort of going ahead with it, if that sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I would probably recommend, like I say, if you do end up doing it, if you end up sort of going into the whole flight sim situation, try the older ones first. Don't jump into the brand new one, because I think we can probably go around the room here. I mean, Jer's not much of a simmer himself, although he's played it, but Ian and I are sort of heavy flight simmers. And like I said, we spoke about this the other week, and we said that we much prefer the older simulators to the brand new one.
But Tom, do you know something? I would love to actually get back into a routine of actually playing a flight sim again, because the thing is, fair enough, I'm fairly okay when it comes to taking an aircraft off the ground, as I was saying to you on previous shows and that, but landing a plane is usually always a hard task for me. I end up breaking it in half, unfortunately, when I come into land. But bringing in a small Cessna or a Piper, I can land them no problem for some reason. But give me a bigger aircraft. Forget about it. I might as well just land into do a splashdown in the sea and hope that the aircraft don't break into a house on impact with the water. You know. as to say, so there's my story when it comes to the flight sim. But I definitely am going to get back into a routine of it again, guys. I have to pull something off. I don't think flying Concorde will be an early start for me. Just go with something easy, and then work up towards bigger jets then eventually.
Yes.
Would you agree on that one, William?
I mean, flying that type of stuff, like the big jets, would be interesting.
Yeah.
I have a friend who is an A350 just nerd, loves everything to do with it, and he has like 200 or 300 hours of just flying the 350 in the simulator. So it'd be interesting to hop in like a 777 in a simulator rather than like a Cessna. So it'll definitely be something down the road that I'll have to try and see for myself, since I really can't have a yes I love it or no I don't, since I've never tried it, so I don't have a real opinion on it.
But I hope you do, and hopefully I'll follow in Tom and Ian's footsteps, and yours, of course, when the time comes, and then hopefully sometime down the line we'll be able to get you back on the show again, me and Tom and Ian, and we'll be able to talk more about flight simulators and stuff like that. Then again, Ian, thanks for sending the link there. I'm going to click on that.
Yes. Now we were talking about your photos and stuff earlier, and there's one photo that you've asked us to specifically bring onto the show for you to talk about. So what I'm going to do that now. So this also inspired me to maybe bring up a segment later on in the podcast, sort of maybe the next few episodes. You tried to take a picture of an Air Canada 777, but you had a photo bomber. Talk us through it.
So, I had a pro get in the way of my 777 shot, which was pretty disappointing. It was a perfect day. That day it was like some great contrast in the background, and 777's on short final, and this flock of birds, there's birds reported that day from past arrivals, and this flock of birds got in the way, and this one specific bird just got in the shot, and it was, I call it a 1 in a million chance, because I haven't seen anything else like that from Pearson. So it was really cool to see it. It made up for the shot, because it got some good attention on Instagram, and my friends and I had a good laugh about it.
Yes, it's in. When you showed us this during the week, I was sort of inspired maybe to try and get some people to sent their sort of. I'd say there's a page on Facebook that sort of also inspired it as well. It's called Your Crap Aviation Photos or something along those lines, and it kind of makes me want to show off some people, some of the photos that people may have sort of thought, "Oh, I'm about to get a good one," and then like I say, a bird flies in the way, or like the typical things, lampposts and buildings and things like that. So. It's a shame really, because you've taken the crow out. It's a good shot, but
it was one of my favorite thoughts.
Yeah, like I say, it's one of those one of the million sort of things where unfortunately a bird does end up getting in the way, and it sort of ruins the shot a little bit.
Exactly.
But you take it out. You take it out, and it's absolutely fine. It's a great photo, but that damn bird. Damn bird.
That damn bird.
Yeah, that damn bird. But yes, and then finally, do you have any plans on sort of travelling to any airports in the future for, let's say, for videos or just for general spotting?
Really, with COVID and Canada's situation where we've been in strict lockdowns as of late, and they're finally getting released. So maybe this summer I'll head somewhere to some air shows, but for the time being, it's really just going to be staying low, staying under the radar, and just going to Pearson, and that's about it.
Stick to local sort of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely fine. Let me just get rid of that picture now off the screen. Yeah. So it's probably a sensible move, especially with the situation that everyone's in at the minute. It is a bit of a pain really, because like I say, you want to travel around and get to places. Like Newquay today for me is about an hour away, so I still had to get there. But the location that I was in to take the videos of the planes, so you got the Air Force One video that I'm uploading, but then there'll be a compilation of everything else that I saw, and that'll be coming sort of during the week. But the location that I was in is that everyone was very spaced out. Everyone was very socially distant. Everyone looked after each other in terms of that way. So it was, all it takes is common sense, and unfortunately, some people don't. Some people don't have common sense to do it.
Can I just cut across there for 1 second? Just news, and we're still live on the show. Air Force One is now arriving at Brussels airport. What's his name is live from Brussels to the sky. Moroni. Moroni is actually a big shout out.
Air Force One alert.
Yeah, a big shout out to Moroni. He's live at Brussels airport as we're live on our show at this very minute. So Moroni, we just we gave you a shout out. We were thinking of you anyway. You're Tom Whittle, our good friend here. Tom got the first one depart from Newquay airport as well. So there you go, Tom. It goes up, Tom. Isn't it great the way things just happening all at once as we speak?
It's a wonderful. Yeah, it's nice to see sort of three perspectives of it. I suppose you've got mine, which will be up soon. Yeah. I've seen videos of it landing at Heathrow, and now obviously it's now at Brussels. So yeah. So
there you go. There you go. No, yeah.
Part and parcel of what Joe Biden is doing.
Exactly.
Yes.
No, you said it, mate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what we'll do, we'll begin to wrap things up now, because I realised even in my state that I didn't do any housekeeping at the beginning, which I should have done. So I shall do that now. You can follow the new links on the top of the screen there to the new handles of the rebranded channel. So Instagram, Twitter, and of course you can subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Shout out to the channel sponsor as always, which is airspotters.com.
Oh yes, big shout out.
Anybody that needs any sort of aircraft models and stuff, they're definitely the ones to hit up, because they provide good quality and the service is fantastic, and the models are well wrapped as well, so you won't get any sort of damages, which are unfortunately creeping in through other sort of suppliers and stuff, not to name one brand, Gemini Jets, but yeah, definitely ones to try out if you haven't already. And of course, as always, if you wish to be on the show at some point in the future, do what William did and message us on either Twitter or Instagram. Tell us you want to come on the show, tell us what you want to talk about, and we will get you on as soon as we can. Can you believe we are booked up for the next 2 months? With variations of guests and stuff, so it's going to be an interesting sort of couple of months really. So next booking space that we have is from August, so if you're happy to wait till August, give us a shout, and yeah, like I said, drop us a message and we will bring you on the show, and you two can talk about aviation just like we have with William this evening.
Awesome. Can I just say something to you there now? I'm just letting you know, and Tom and Ian are here. I subscribed to you now on your channel this very minute, and I'm also following you on Instagram as well.
Awesome, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
You are very, very welcome. It's a pleasure.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
So there's one comment in there. Ian will bring you into the ending of the show here. But there's a comment there from Jeremy Carlisle who says, in regards to the Air Force One video, he's looking forward to it. So I hope it delivers. I'm sure it will. But yeah, no, thank you for that. Now, what we'll do, because I'm starting to not feel very well, we're going to sort of wrap the show up, but what we'll do, we'll take this opportunity now to do some shout outs, as we always do. So we can shout out anybody and anyone that we wish, and we normally start with a guest, so we're going to put you on the spot, William, and now is your opportunity to shout out anybody you like.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess I'll shout out my good friend, Dimitri, DE_Jets on Instagram. He's one of my good plane spotting buddies, so if you want to follow him. And on YouTube, he is CYYZ Plane Spotting. He has amazing content, amazing model reviews, and just about anything you can ask for in aviation content, so go follow him.
Awesome stuff.
Fantastic. Go on, Joe.
You're waiting for me, Tom. I know. I could read it straight away. Well, actually, Tom, could kind of maybe do it a bit shorter, because I don't keep it you too long now, especially after your date with the sun today, which wasn't a good one, unfortunately. Well, I know I'm kind of feeling a bit sore on my arms as well, but the only thing is I'm grounding pretty good. But anyway, shout out anyway. First shout out, of course to you, William, in the guest, and that is a pleasure to have you, and to get to know you, and I'm glad that I'm going to be following your work as you go along. Big shout out to you, Tom, and a big well done to you for braving the elements of the sun now today to go down to Newquay and get the most famous aircraft in the world, which is Air Force One. Should be on our lips for quite a long time, I think. And Ian, of course, the man in the comments, big shout out to you as well, mate, and well done, and good work this evening. And yourself, Tom, and you, William, of course, and of course to all my friends on Facebook. So if any of you didn't get to come in and follow the show tonight, I'll be sharing the link to the show. You can listen back on the chat. And Killian Martin, of course, good friend mine, of course, Dublin, who always keeps in regular contact with me as well. A big shout out to you. The Mark, Rebecca, of course, probably the two be tuned in as well, and David Kelly and Paul and all the family as well. Sometimes if they have time, they'll pop in as well. So big shout out to everybody, and of course not forgetting finally, big shout out to all our frontline staff, the HNS or the NHS I should say, and HSE here in Ireland. They're doing all a great job. All the law enforcement out there who've done a great job, I suppose, today, with the President of the United States and all the other G7 summit members being around as well today. Big job well done to all of them as well. So I think that's it, Tom. I could talk for till the sun, moon, and the stars come out, but anyway, I'm not going, because we want to end this style anyway after a good day anyways.
Yeah, no, that's fine. A couple shout outs from me. First lot is to, of course, NHS and frontline workers across the world for their continuous efforts in trying to beat this pandemic.
Exactly.
I'd like to give a shout out, and it's a very special one to you, Jer, because of the
Thanks, Tom.
unfortunate, obviously, news you've had this weekend. Obviously, we won't go into it because it's sensitive.
Yeah.
But yeah, big shout out to you, and thoughts with you as well. Shout out.
Thanks, Tom.
Shout out to Ian for being here, and.
Yeah, for turning up.
I know you got places to be.
I absolutely love it.
No, I'm just, I'm just kidding. No, Ian for doing a grand job with the comments and putting the links in the chat there. So yeah, big thank you to you, and big thank you to everybody that's watched for the hour and 20 minutes that we've been going. It feels like we're sort of cutting it short, but we're not. But anyway, that's been watching for that amount of time, thank you so much, and we'll hopefully see you again sort of next week. Now, in regards to next week, we are going all things flight simulator, and in particular VATSIM. Now, if you don't know what VATSIM is more of an online sort of control tower type thing where you speak to people like you and I to get clearance in your flight sims. People would have heard of it, things like that. But we are going to dive into the world of VATSIM next week with our special guest next week, who is going by the name of Pillow Pilot.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so he's looking forward to coming on and talking about VATSIM. I'm certainly looking forward to it because it's something I've wanted to try and get into for a long time. So yeah, it should be interesting to learn a little bit about that. So yeah, that is going to do it for this week. So once again, thank you very much to everyone. Like I said, if you like the show or enjoy the show, leave a thumbs up on the stream. Subscribe if you are new around here, and yeah, we'll do this all again next week. So what we'll do, we'll go around now and we'll get to goodbyes from everybody. So William, do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Thanks for having me on the show, guys. I really appreciate it. It was awesome to be on.
You are more than welcome.
Just amazing. First podcast I've ever done, and it will likely never, and it hopefully will not be my last. So thanks for all.
No, we'll definitely get you back on again. At some
we
stage,
will.
and I'll make sure I'm not burnt to a crisp when that happens.
Yeah.
But no, thank you for your time this evening. Joe, do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
I certainly do, Tom. Goodbye to you, William. It's been an absolute pleasure having you, and we look forward to having you on the show. As Tom said again, you're definitely invited back anyway. That's for sure. 100%. To you, Ian, on a very good job. Well done.
Cheers,
Comments No hassle at all, mate. To you, Tom, my wonderful host and good friend as well, that's been there for me for since we became friends, and I absolutely appreciate that. And to everybody in the comments, big shout out to you all there, and thanks for joining us this evening as well. And enjoy the rest of your evening, and look after yourselves. Stay safe out there. And just letting you all know, make sure you stay safe now. Thursday evening as that thunderstorm warning for the UK gets closer as well, because they're giving very severe thunderstorms. Just letting you all know as well. So, and make sure if a couple of you catch a nice few lightning strikes if you can. Don't get electrocuted at my expense, though. As I say.
I'm going to be so happy if it rains this week.
I'd say, no, Tom, I tell you, you could get your wish now, mate, on Thursday. Anyway. But as I said, anyway, listen, stay safe out there, everybody, and take care, and we'll see you all next week. Please God against it.
Definitely, and for myself, continue to look after yourselves, continue to stay safe. We'll be back again next week, 7 p.m. Here on the channel, and we look forward to seeing you all in there. So have a fantastic week, everybody, and we'll see you next Sunday. Goodbye, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Take care. Bye. Bye. Bye.